Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode of our 4th Age Total War campaign as Harad. In this one we're being attacked outside the walls of Akarn. This is the capital of Khan. And we're being attacked from the southwest, so the city is up opposite that. If we can get a good angle we might be able to tell exactly where they're going to arrive. Oh, there they are. So the city's off, kind of our east-northeast. Or maybe it's directly east. In any event, the enemy is going to be coming pretty much along this road. And this is the larger army, the garrison. So they're going to be coming up this way, and we're going to have to keep that in mind. Now, we do have a nice little outcropping here, actually. We're on the defensive, so if we go up here and seize this high ground, we'll have a flank that is protected. And maybe that'll be a good thing. On the other hand, we're not exactly a stand there and slug it out kind of faction. So this may not be exactly what we want to do. I think I'm going to go for it, though. Because I also don't think that Khan has anything that is terribly robust. Alright, I guess I forgot to add him in. So we'll grab you. There we go. They're all together now. And the archers behind them, even though they'll have a little bit of a struggle to shoot over the heads of these taller skirmisher types. And then we've got our infantry. They can all be together. And this is all going to change, of course, once the battle starts and we see exactly who's in front of us and who's behind us. Yeah, let's put you guys... how about we put the horse archers here to harass just immediately. And the light cavalry we can put, off over here. And they're just going to be, maybe even hiding in these trees. And then we'll decide what to do with them later. Alright, let's start the battle. Let's get up here. So we also want to make sure that we defeat everybody here. And that means getting rid of this captain. Unless there's a family... I thought there was a family member somewhere in this army. But I guess not. So we've got to basically eliminate both of the stacks, or close enough. We've got to reduce them to, like... We've got to have 85% on this blue bar. But I'm not sure if this is going to be really accurate. Because we're talking about... two armies, so the reinforcement, may make this a little bit wonky. Okay, they're sending in just axemen. This should be pretty straightforward, really. We'll just hang back here and skirmish them. And this is watchmen and axemen. Yeah, we can use these very light cav units just to chase riders. Everybody else will just sit back, throw or shoot. And for this army, they've got a unit of steppe archers, Variag riders, but everything else is very, very basic. So I was maybe a little bit overly cautious here. Axemen, nomadic watchmen, and even the Variag riders, once you corner them and get them surrounded or at least slow them down, they are not that strong in a kind of prolonged melee, even against some of our skirmishers. So we can probably fall back here. Okay, and yeah. Alright, let's do that. And let's get a unit of cav involved. This is not going to be a clean charge, but it'll be enough just to push them. Alright, just the enemy commander, that's good. Probably pull this guy out a little bit. Yeah, let's hit the Variag axemen. They'll take some losses and rout pretty fast. Okay, so let's turn now and see what this looks like. Get our archers facing this direction. Skirmishers right behind the archers, I think. These guys turned. And the steppe archers are the only thing that could deal a lot of damage to me. I think. He's going to get shot down quite a lot, and then we can sweep in from the sides. Yeah, he won't stand very long. Great. That's pretty much everybody routing over here. And if we are quick enough, we should be able to clean up the rest of it. These steppe archers are essentially they're horse archers on foot, so they are not great in terms of morale or stats, really. Let's actually just do one of you there. You go after the general. Yeah, everything else will catch up. And we're gonna be okay. We just hit 86%, so that should be fine. Even with the fact that there's two different armies to track, again, I'm not sure how this is. This 86% of all of them? Is this 86% of the main army? What is this tracking exactly? I don't know. And then I don't know which army you need to get to 15% in order to get the town. Again, if it's both, is it just one? So those are all mysteries to me, but I think we're going to end up with it. So we'll just speed this up. Let's get to the victory screen, see how we did. All right, 882, 817. So, so we took some losses there. Who took the losses? Okay, so Red Sand Archers. Okay, I bet we got rushed by something that I wasn't really paying attention to. Either that or there was a ton of friendly fire, because this is by far the largest. Southern Skirmishers, 12. Okay, we did heal a little bit in each unit. So I don't know what that was, but not too concerned about it. This is for the capital of Khand, right? Like if that's the best they can throw at me here. And it might not be, right? They may have some big army somewhere that I just don't know about. But I'm pretty sure that Khand is not at war with anybody to their north. So that's going to make things probably a little more straightforward for me. There's an army there, and there's another army there. So let's see. Looking at the public order here, I think I'm going to want to lay desolate. And that is going to give us a blue face. So I'm glad I did that, because that was not like, sometimes you lay desolate and you're like, I didn't really need to kill all those people, right? But in this case, I think we needed to. We've still got 1,200 population, so that's okay. But let's see what we can do. Okay, because this is a chief city, which you can tell by this blue banner here, we can retrain mercenaries, and I'm going to do that. Our money is all right. We just got some plunder, so that's propping it up a bit. But I really want to make sure that we've got enough to hold this, because I don't want to give this one up. Let's now destroy some of their buildings. We'll make even a little bit more cash here. So the mustering fields are going to go. The Trials of Blood, we can make some money with this. 4,000. This is a different culture. So Khand shares the barbarian culture slot with the Easterlings. So that's Rune, North Rune, and also with the Dunlendings. So all of those guys can make use of those types of buildings. But we, because we're a Haradrian faction, are going to need to go up the tribal councils and the tribal land grants and so on. This is going to just get us a little bit of alignment, but eventually it's going to get us a lot of good stuff like income and experience for troops and things. So this is definitely worth it. But you only want to start doing this after you've got your dominion established. Otherwise, it's like everything else, overly expensive and takes way too long to build. So let's see. I think that's all we can do. We're going to keep the road camp. That actually gives us some trade goods. The Hall of Drinking we actually do benefit from. That's giving us a little bit of public order. So I'm going to keep it. I just want to make sure that we're not missing any other development. Okay, yeah, so Fiefdom Dominion, that's only 2 seasons away. Of course, this is a homeland, so we had this from the start. Carenbad is established, and I guess that's it, really. So we may as well do this. It's not like we have big public order problems across our realm. So get rid of their homeland dominion, and then start building the only thing we can build, which is provincial pacification. And let's queue up an emissary too, just to avoid or lessen the chance of bribery, because they could have a big treasury, I guess. So let's get the scout. Let's see. First, I guess I can see what's in the garrison here. So there's 4 units inside Lug, which is their new capital. Now, with this being taken, I'm now going to have to look at taking Lug, taking Naur Imloth, and taking Alagos here, the rebel town, to the southeast. So that'll give me 3 more towns, and we're also going to want this. And since we're taking all this, we may as well grab Lost Laden or Parchereb. So that's really going to open up the option for us to take 5 settlements. And then we're going to have to put some pressure on this. And the idea is that we would leave them with this settlement up here, Mulden to the north, and just either severely weaken them or ideally get them as a protectorate so that we don't have to worry about the north anymore. Because this province, Akarn, it shares a border in the north, but I don't think it shares a border with anybody else. I think it's just this province up here. So that's the hope. Let's get the spy over to take a better look at these armies. Lieutenant Alam has a bit more of a, I don't know, diverse lineup here, or a bit more units anyway. He's got some horse archers of Khand, but there's not too many of them. And looking down to the south, Thandos. Okay, this is a family member. That's good. I want them to have people, because I don't want the faction eliminated. If their faction is actually eliminated, that's just a bit of a problem, because all of their lands would turn rebel, and some other faction is going to fill in the gaps there. Okay, Athenkaris is looking pretty good. We've got, geez, is this a female? Let's take a look at our family tree. It might be. Well, he or she is showing up somewhere else. And so that means it's a different branch of the family, or a different house, if you will. So it's letting us know we've got some more people. But we've got a couple of sons who are going to come of age at some point. And then we've got a young daughter here of our heir. That'll allow us to get a husband to join the family too. And it says we're going to make 5,000. Now that's not accurate, because a lot of that income is based on what we just did up here, destroying buildings and sacking the place. But it's still good to see. And looking at the numbers that I've got here, and especially, you know, I've got 4 units decent-ish of archers. That is encouraging, because I think I can hold out against almost anything that Khand has to throw at me. Okay, with that said, maybe now I do want to take out a couple of archers, like I had tried to do before. Bring them over to Karasagar. And yeah, train a couple more. Or maybe instead we'll go for something else. Like, let's go for some Herodwaith riders. A couple units of them would be very nice against Khand. Okay, yeah, let's move the spy this way. I just want to see what's around there. Okay, so turning to the west. I think we've got Khand pretty settled, at least for this turn, but we've got some problems over here. It's good to see that Harandor is besieging Ur. I kind of hope that goes well, but I hope they stop short of taking this, because we need this if we're going to get Mumikil. We need to rescue Carenbad, though. They haven't built anything yet, and we could wait 8 seasons, but we don't have really anything here that's good enough to resist Harad's units. We also need to think about Adabara, but I think Adabara could probably hold out if they assault. They don't have any siege stuff here. So let's just treat it like that. I would rather lose Adabara, I think, at this stage. So let's go and hit Karenbad. I'm going to move the horsemen up here separately, because I'm not sure if they've got the movement points to really attack this army. But they'll show up as reinforcements. We'll punch them. And this does look pretty substantial. We've got a couple of units of Scarlet Shields. One is pretty weak, but the other one is almost full. A couple units of Spearmen of the Serpent. Again, one very weak. 2 units of proper archers. You know, some more cav. A couple of swords. 3 swords, really. So, you know, this is going to be a tough one. They've got, you know, about as many men as we do. So we need to make sure that we take out the dangerous cav, which will be hard because they've got archers and swords, but we can't deal with them until we get rid of the cav. Harad does build some nice balanced armies. We're attacking. I don't think this fog really helps us or hurts us that much, so let's just go for it. Alright, so we've got archers. What was I worried about? We've got 4 units of archers, and then a lot of just garbage. Mercenary skirmishers, 1 unit of bodyguard. Okay, 2. Alright, so it's going to be basically use archers, use my line only to pin for the briefest of moments, and then bring the cavalry around. So we're going to play like a skirmisher faction here. Let's group these guys. We're going to get some cav reinforcements and some reinforcements from the town, but they're not going to amount to much. Let's get up slightly to the right. Yeah, we can get this way.
Reinforcements have come, and your strength grows once more.
All right, so there's the garrison reinforcements, and way down here are the cavalry. At least it's a full unit. I'm going to sprint them up the hill. And here we've got the footmen of Harad, and they're not going to do really anything. But we may as well run them down. Alright, so there's Herdwaith Riders. There's a unit of Scarlet Shields. They're pulling their archers forward. Alright, I gotta go up and deal with this cav. And they're shooting at me already. Alright, but we should break them. Yep, there they go. And their other cav is staying back. Looks like they've gone into the trees, which is pretty alarming. Alright, these skirmishers are going to rout. Spearmen of the Serpent. Okay, great. Here's our light cav. Alright, there's their heavy cav. Okay, we're just... Actually, we're in a good position to hit those swords. It's going to be a dirty charge, but let's do it. Alright, they're pulling back. Well, maybe we can get a good hit. We're gonna, you know, filter them down, or whittle them down is the word I'm looking for, with our bows. And if we contact, we're gonna take some friendly fire here, but they rout. Alright, pull back. Alright, let's slow this a bit. They're sending some more swords up that way. And here's the Scarlet Shields. We gotta go fast. Alright, no, let's not waste time hitting the swords. Let's go in a couple of different directions. How are we doing? We got them. Scarlet Shields are on the run. We're just going to ignore the javelins for a little bit and, I don't know, try to occupy the other stuff. Let's hit... They're doing a pretty good job protecting their archers. Okay, yeah, they're sending their spearmen at me. Let's hit the archers. Alright, that's a lot of their dangerous stuff. Did I lose a full archer unit? I may have. Alright, let's go up here. So, this is not great. We're going to lose those footmen, but that's what they're there for, just to delay. Let's get their captain. And then the swords and everything else should break. Like our cavalry just broke. No, our cavalry is actually doing okay. Right, let's have them join in the fight. There we go. We didn't even need them.
The enemy general was a fool. He sacrificed himself.
Alright, great. Hit these swords and then break these guys. And look how long our footmen are holding, actually. You know, they're not getting kills, I'm sure. As you can tell, a lot of these bodies are ours. But they're not routing yet either. And this is kind of what you want them to do. Let's hit the swords, which are the safer target for us to hit. Okay, and down here, I think we'll just be shooting those swords with our bows until they rout. We'll just do that. And there they go, they rout. And we got down to 18 footmen of Harad levies. You know, not a good unit, but good enough. I mean, they get a lot of hate, these footmen. And, you know, that was an unfair fight, sending them against swords. That was not at all in their favor. But they did what I needed them to do. Alright, so Spearman and Serpent, this is going to be rough. We may lose a general or two here. Let's go ahead and send them in. It's a good charge. And they go. Great. Yeah, let's continue this.
Drive them from the battlefield.
Right, Spearman of the Serpent, we're going to chase. Everyone else has either fled or is fleeing. Some of these units, like these mercenaries, you know, I'm not sad to see them take losses because we can retrain them in Karenbad. Some of the guys are going to be harder, like the swords of Harad that we've got, the swords of Far Harad, if you will. This unit, I don't really, I don't think I have the infrastructure to retrain it anywhere nearby. I think that's in my capital. But we've at least freed the city. You can see how we can regroup here. Or at Anorlith, because I think that's the one, that's sort of the middle of the three that you start with. And Anorlith may have some infrastructure that I've forgotten. I think they can train up to tier 2, which actually that does include swords, doesn't it? Let's just take a look. Yeah, we could do archers. Yep, swords and cav. Okay. You know, I think, honestly, I want more cav. We cav archers. Yeah, let's keep it like that. And we'll bring him over too. Alright, this is a potential bribe waiting to happen. Okay, I'm pretty sure I can retrain all these units inside Karenbad. So let's put them inside. All these mercenaries. Okay, not the skirmishers, unfortunately. But we can retrain the footmen of Harad levies. We can get another unit of levies up. And he is the captain of this place. The governor. Oh, and he's got a champion of Far Harad with him. Nice. +3 troop morale, 10% decrease to troop training costs. Okay, he's the lord, but he's not attuned. That's alright. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to need him to be out anyway. Yeah, he just picked this up. This mighty champion ensures his fellow soldiers with his tremendous size and bravery. Okay, we're going to get reinforcements there eventually. And here we're just going to wait. No mercenaries to get. This army is probably going to move. And I want that emissary to go somewhere else before I move. my cav over. Nah, let's do it. Let's start him in that direction anyway. We'll see how this unfolds. Okay, still unfolding. 6 seasons left. Now they've got a bunch of Rams. Harad is a very interesting faction. Obviously, they're Haradrian, but their low-tier guys are these, Harandor footmen. So it's much more like the Reunited Kingdom. And then they've got some skirmisher types and, you know, some cav. Really good all around, very strong. But, it's a bit of a tricky start because you've got some difficult neighbors to deal with. Okay, so we did not get bribed, so our cavalry can move back here. We didn't get besieged anywhere else. But here they are building rams, and it looks like they've got some other units that could be tricky. So, Adabara. Got a lot of skirmishers. A lot more units than they do. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10 straight across. So they've got 11 units total, and at least 2 of them are light skirmishers. At least 2 of them are footmen of Harad, and I think more than this. I think some of these question marks are really like tier 1 units. The cav I'm not worried about in a siege. This unit and this unit and this unit. The swords, the spears, I am worried about. But we've got some scary stuff. Obviously, the champions of Far Harad, the Southern champions, the Southern skirmishers, a ton of those. We do have 1 archer unit, kinda. I think we can do it. I do wish we had some better things. We've got another cav. Let's bring him up and try to bring him over in a way that he won't get smacked. And the more I think about this, we've got units here. I think we're going to want more cav. Let's do that. Let's keep the archer in there because if I forget, then we will get an archer unit as a nice surprise. Alright, so this is the army from up here, because this unit, Parchereb Tribesmen, is it's only available in that Parchereb province, Lost Ladan. So, really cool unit, bow and spear as secondary, a 2-handed spear. I think we're going to want these 2 archers here. It's probably 4 of these guys. And so that would be fine. I think we can take it. So what to do about Khand now? They didn't approach us at all. Got an emissary. I think what I want to do is actually scout out the northern border with this emissary. Okay, yeah, and we only do share a border with Moldin. That's great news. I was just a little unsure about how this northwestern border went, because we got a city right here. But no, if we just hold this, this border goes all the way across. So I'm going to send this emissary over here. We're going to take a look at what's around the settlement of Moldin. There's a few units inside. And then we're going to maybe bring him back down, in this direction too, to check out Lug. Let's do another one. We can use them as cheap spies. And we can also use actual spies. So let's go over here. Okay. Some Variags moving off to maybe try to get their capital back. And there's really nothing over here. Alright, so now what we're going to want is some reinforcements. We're going to want an army that can plausibly remain in a Karn. Or really what we're going to want is an army that can hold off this. And then a bigger army to go around and take settlements and just leave a skeleton garrison in them. So for that, I probably need a little less cav, actually. And maybe more like really basic, cheap units. Just to maintain a presence. Okay, we could leave Alagos for last because they're not going to attack us. And we're going through cash, aren't we? Alright, I do have to be aware of that. Got one more season. What's this going to bring in? Bring in 828 plus, you know, plus a little bit of income tax, so more like 928, about 1,000 when it's all said and done. So then with the Karenbad army, geez, I was hoping this guy would move. I think we got to start moving westward. The reason is, if we don't, then Harandor could take Ur and then immediately begin going towards this settlement, which we want. So let's just do what we can with what we've got, and we'll move over here, and we'll keep an eye on what Harandor does. Okay, the Haradrian army outside Karasagar did nothing. They may have moved back up north to Parchareb. Alright, so we've got archers. Going to be almost in the city.
Onward! No more moves, sire. Onward!
There is a big army. Alright, wow. Harandor failed to take Ur. Okay, that, you know, in a way that buys me a little bit of time around here. So I don't need to go and defend or stake my claim, as it were, on this settlement just yet. Let's see the news. We recruited some stuff in Anerlith and Athencaris. Karasagar is finished, and a Karn can now start on its development. We're only making 500 a turn, though. Alright, so we don't have enough to do this, and it'll be a little while. Like a couple of turns if we spend no more money. Alright, let's just move over here, check out the army situation around Moldin. There's not a lot. There's going to be just enough to be annoying, though. Oh, this is a Dorwinian army. Or emissary. Okay, I don't think we can really do a lot with him.
At once. Yes, my liege.
Yeah, this is still all high conned.
Yes.
So again, this border goes straight across to the north. This is a perfect place for us to hold, or for them to hold. So what I could do then is probably just move out of the settlement and start grabbing like Lug. That would be a reasonable place to take. And then rush back, and then on the way hit Alag Ruckman. I don't know, we probably need to do this. So we'll time it this way. We'll take out everybody but one footman unit and move him north. And we're going to move towards Naur Imloth. I don't know exactly what I'm going to face here, because there is a big-ish army somewhere. And it could be right here, but I think we got to start moving this way.
Out of moves, great lord.
And then we'll move down with this army. Let's see, there's not too much I can leave behind, though. Let's leave these spearmen. See what that looks like. Alright, not very good, but there's mercenaries to be had. I don't know if it's really worth it, though. Because I'm just not making very much money. Okay, so let's do a merc skirmisher, leave him here. That's 70. Alright, that's just barely enough. Alright, yeah. Let's come down here. What we'll do is we'll get the armies kind of together. We'll take this, and then we'll decide where to go next. Up northeast to Lug, west towards Alag Rokbin, or back to Akarn, which is most likely, because we're probably going to have to defend that. And we can bring these guys over there too, right? So we're just kind of building the core a little bit. We get a lot queued up here. This guy's being real annoying, though. Because I think if I go here, I think he could hit me.
Onward.
Alright, so we'll go right there. We'll go into the city if we have to. But this is very annoying. All right, let's get the spy over here. I want to see what we're looking at in this army. Right. Okay. A lot of Parch Arab tribesmen. Few swords. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's take our guys out of the city and just get them together.
Moves depleted, mighty lord.
Sire, forward, joining forces. Out of
And we can do another one, and then maybe leave a single guy inside Karenbad. It's a bit risky, because if an assassin comes over and kills this guy, there's nobody in here. It would be kind of funny to see, honestly.
forward.
Alright, I think, yeah, we could deal with this. We got enough archers and enough other stuff. It's not my best army. We've got almost no skirmishers, but I think that's what we're going to have to do. Okay, I think it's coming together. Alright, there's our spy, and we're attacked by Harad. Ooh, Umbar Guard. Okay, that was one of the other units. So, yeah, they did have exactly 2 footmen and exactly 2 skirmishers. The rest was good stuff, it turns out. Okay, Umbar Guard is a really good unit. Spearmen of the Serpent's really good. Scarlet Shields are really good. But these cavalry will have a bit of a struggle inside the city gates, so let's see how this goes. I really hope we win this. It doesn't have to be pretty. It won't be. It can just be a leftover battlefield of almost nothing on my side, as long as there's a million javelins in bodies of the guys of the other side. So we only have, yeah, no family member. Okay, we do at least have this nice open plaza. Kind of a, you know, kind of a problem in the sense that they've got cavalry that can use this too. Alright, yeah, I think archers want to be here. Like, I know we can get a few kills as they approach the walls, but there's just 1, 2, 3, there's like 6 rams. There's no way we're going to make a difference that way. So, and then we're going to have to just go back up the city streets, and it's just going to be this whole tedious thing. So let's get all of the skirmishers back here. Everyone's scary, or a lot of people are scary. All of our footmen are here. And the general's here. We're just going to wait for them. They're going to destroy 6 stretches of wall. Maybe our towers are going to kill 1 or 2. Alright.
Stand and fight.
Let's see if we get any kills at all in the approach. Doesn't look like it. These low-level walls are not really very effective.
The walls are broken. The enemy are in the city. Now the fight will be doubly hard.
Alright, and I think what I should probably do is take them off fire at will.
The walls are taken. The enemy stands ready to take the town.
Doesn't look like anyone's trying to get behind me just yet.
Luck is not with us. The enemy have breached the walls. Ready.
Alright, there's the Spearman of the Serpent. general's coming. That's a Scarlet Shields. Alright, that's, you know, kind of good. I don't want him next to my archers. And at least these guys are not going to rout here in the plaza. Alright, Swords of Harad, Footmen of Harad. Spearmen, Footmen, Scarlet Shields. Swords, swords. There's the Umbar Guard. I guess we can slow it down a bit to enjoy the unit. It's a very cool design. So we're going to want to pick targets very deliberately here. So like Scarlet Shields, if they're going to stand back, obviously they're an excellent target for the javelins. Any of the closely packed, you know, heavy infantry. What are we shooting at here? Alright. I guess I wouldn't have chosen that as the most obvious target. Let's go up here. Leave ourselves a nice firing line, theoretically. Okay, is this going to be enough? We've got no swords over here. Let's just go right over there and start shooting at them. A couple of guys over for backup. Okay, you target the Spearman of the Serpent. Footmen of Harad are charging. I'll just fight them. Swords of Harad. Target them. Nice. Alright, that's nice. This whole wing is gone. Alright, bring you guys back. Alright, there's the Umbar Guard. Let's focus on them. I'm going to chase them with just a single unit. Let's target the Harad Riders. Umbar Guard is now routing. Wow. Sending the swordsman here. Screw you. That is awesome. Alright. Maybe I shouldn't have been so worried. I mean, we had 11 units of skirmishers. That's a pretty good army, it turns out. We did use up all of the ammo for some of them, but quite a few of them didn't even get any shots off. Right, you go up here, you go up here. This is wonderful. Alright, so we don't need to... I'm not even that worried about catching all of these guys. The Plainsman skirmishers are going to be the ones who get away. You know, the Harad Riders. We get the commander. Really, all of these units actually are going to go away if we get up to 83%. So let's make sure we get the Spearman of the Serpent. And that should be it. We're just going to use our general to clean up routing. If he can get it together to do that. Alright. Let's go after him. What are we up to now? 80? I think we're going to get to the 85%. Yeah, we gotta be there. Yeah, 93. Okay. I could probably call it here. Like, maybe there's a chance of getting some more experience by doing it manually. I don't really know. But yeah, I guess we did get a little XP. Oh, cool. Okay, we got a gold chevron. Nice. Heroic victory. We didn't take that many losses either. Now, in an open field, maybe this wouldn't have gone so well. But honestly, if you have, a bunch of thick blocks of skirmishers, you get, 10 or 12 of them. And they're all firing. If you're not skirmishing away, you're going to get a lot of javelins in the air, and those are going to do a lot of damage. Okay, and we're attacked by Khand this time. So where's this? Oh, good. They're attacking my family member army. This does not look good, though. Interesting. So we are outnumbered by about 300 or 250. Got a couple of horse archers, which I'm really glad that I've retrained, because they've got a good army. It's kind of rare. They've got 1, 2, 3 units of melee cav plus their general. All right, this is going to be a fun one, actually. Let me just check their foot archers. Okay, 2 of those, and they've got 2 horse archers, so we're not going to have total impunity in terms of running around the field. We don't have that much cav. I mean, we're going to have to really rely on our bodyguards, and we've got 4-ish units of archers on foot. Some skirmishers, but this is not a very strong army that I've got. So what I'm hoping is, we deal with this well. We bring up the reinforcements from the south. Maybe they can take the town, Naur Imloth, by themselves, or near enough to it. But we need some line guys. You got to keep the bad guys off your archers a little bit. Okay, swords, put them on fire at will. And this is just a single army attacking us, but the field is kind of interesting. There's a little rise in the middle that nobody starts with, and we're defending. We kind of want to rush forward as part of that defense. So I may as well use my horse archers here. But on the other hand, they've got a lot of melee cavalry. So rushing forward is honestly not going to do us very well. So because of that, I think I actually want to set up somewhere else. Let's get them together into a reasonable group and then see where the best ground might be. There's not going to be that many great options, really. Okay. All right. I mean, here. But again, we don't really want to get into a melee with them. I mean, slug it out on like the top of a hill. What we want to do is, yeah, there's a lot of their melee cav. There's one. Okay, they're sending their archers after my light cav. I'm going to pull them away. Yeah, I think this will be fine. We've got some of our guys hidden, so that's going to be a little bit of a surprise. Oh, exactly 2 units. That's not as good as I would have hoped. All right, but it's holding them off a little bit in the sense that they're not pursuing my guys. This is annoying, though. I don't want to lose my horse archers to their horse archers. Oh, come on, jerks. Notice how slow they're being. Pretty soon they're going to start firing. I'm going to start firing. I don't know if they're going to want to charge. They do outnumber me. So we see if we can sandwich them a little bit. And they might be pursuing. Yeah, they are. They're charging. Alright, so we just do a charge 2. Now we get them down to 49. And then we see... It's kind of a good move on their part, because I really wanted these horse archers of mine to do something. But now even if I win here, they're really weakened and they're out of the fight. And look at how they're charging at my line right now. Alright, so get out of here. Get right back here. Alright, they're sending forth their infantry. Jeez. Alright, skirmishers, stand your ground. Hit the dragon guard. I think I targeted that guy. Alright, let's go this way. Try to deal with their light cav with my heavier cav. Okay, it's going alright so far. Dragon guard is at 19 men. Get away, get away, get away. We're in the thick of it, though. Not ideal. Alright, go right forward. Alright, nice. A lot of damage there.
This general is the perfect enemy.
Okay, he's routing.
He does not stand but runs away. Is there any point in killing him?
These guys are technically spears, but they're the lowest kind of spears, like the lowest tier, if you will. Alright, go right after the step archers here. We've not broken them. They got some horse archers still out there. Ugh. This is kind of messy. Let's bring them into the fight. Very Axemen are winning easily, which is honestly good. You know, my tier 1 skirmishers shouldn't be able to beat everything. But I'm going to lose some horse archers here. Okay, good. We finally broke that line. And what now? I think we leave them and we go right back here. We help out our horse archers. I'll send you after the Variag riders and you after the step archers. They rout instantly. Let's bring the cav around here. Some of these guys are regrouping, it looks like. My gosh, the horse archers are fighting ridiculously well. Okay, we lost a lot of men, though. So let's be kind of smart about this. Let's bring our archers forward. Alright, Swords of Harad, and here's the other swordsman. Let's bring them back in this direction. And let's go after the routers with some of our cav. Alright, Southron champions. Let's see how you do. Nice. Alright. This was a good one. This was a much messier fight than I expected. And, you know, it's because I'm trying to sort of scum my way through the early game with very low-tier units and ranged stuff. And sometimes that can work really well.
As enemies, these men are perfect. They are running from the battle in
But
terror.
when the AI has a decent, you know, mix of forces, you know, these are not great units. Why did I just take damage there? I was probably these guys just left the field and they were shooting. But you know, they had some infantry. It was all tier 1 and 2 stuff, but it gave me a run for my money. Look how much damage my bodyguards took. So that one was pretty brutal. We were outnumbered. But the fact that they had, you know, a couple of horse archers, those horse archers took mine out of the fight and did enough damage. And they had a bunch of that charging cavalry and their bodyguard unit. Yeah, this is going to make it kind of hard for me to do what I wanted to do. So that was a good, well-fought battle. And now I think I'm kind of feeling like I got to get back to a Karn. This is another nobleman who's just spawned in. What's this guy? Just a lieutenant. Alright, let's bring him down to Lug with the emissary.
My liege.
And, okay, they've got some, like, Tier 2 military, it looks like here, so they can train their cavalry, the Variag riders. Alright.
Assassin ready. I obey.
Yeah, I think we could do this with this army. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Thandos. So this is a nobleman with, you know, again, kind of a decent mixed force. Some horse archers, right? Is this the army we just fought? This might be. I guess we didn't kill him, did we? So he got away. And this is the remains. Oh, gosh. This is so tempting now to, you know, pursue and finish them. But we would lose a Karn.
I serve your will. None shall see me.
I mean, it's only 3 units. They're very weak. Inside, we've got, you know, Tier 2 spears and mercenaries. Alright, how about this? Maybe we want to give one of these guys a chance to lead an army by himself. And we send him back up here with the Outriders. I'd like to take this army out, but I don't really have a lot of good stuff. We'll just do this. And so we can retrain you and you. And now if they attack with this army, we can sally with almost whatever it is. And these guys, I want these forces to meet up, is what I want. So let's do that. Bring them together. They're not going to be close together. Do I want another one of these? No, let's not get any more spears. The cost is pretty high. Okay, now we're making 1,200. Alright, 2 more archers, so that's a little bit of insurance. And what is this? I'm going to hope that they're here only because of a battle. Okay, did they just beat that giant army? They may have. Wow, okay. Oh, jeez. I don't think they're going to go for this. They don't share a border. All right, let's assume that that's not going to happen. Yeah, I think they cleaned out a bunch of stuff. Oh, yeah, here they come. Okay, let's move west then. This guy, I feel like this guy's got to move at some point, right? Move west, and we're going to add in some skirmishers, because this army's pretty light on that stuff. Build some more regular spears. Here we've got some light cav. Alright, let's bring them up here. Alright, I think this is a pretty good point for us to stop. What we're going to worry about next time is getting this army in the range of Adabara so we can feed it some skirmish troops and maybe swap out, like get these Swords of Harad. I should have left them in Karenbad, actually. Maybe even these guys. But we'll worry about that a bit later. And then we're going to have an army to head west, because it looks like Harandor is in position to make a move. If they took out that big army of Harad just now, and they're bringing in more forces, and they kind of outnumber them locally, they may be taking Ur relatively soon, and I want to be in position in Akasanaban with a Mumikil training grounds before that. So that is the plan there. With everything else, guess I should probably spend some money on retraining. We'll just go for the low tier stuff. Actually, we can probably just merge a bunch of things.
Sire. Orders?
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and recruit another one. I'm going to leave the palisade broken. It cost me over 2,000 to repair it. But, you know, if they attack again, what they're going to do is they're just going to assault immediately because they got all those holes in the walls. So my guys won't take siege attrition. They will just be ready to murder the Haradrian armies in the streets. So that's the goal there. Over here, we concentrate our forces. We take Naur Imloth. We, you know, hold on to Akarn as best we can. And then move off maybe to take this place next. We'll see how it's going to go. We may have to, you know, break off some even more troops. But I think we can get enough going here to build up a little bit of momentum. And then really we're going to start grabbing some territory. Because now we've got 6 settlements, right? We just got Akarn this turn, this episode. But we did a lot, right? Like saving the... our western settlements and fighting a lot against Harad and Khand here. I think we cleaned out a lot of the big forces, at least in this area. So we should be able to rack up some territory. And then in the west, maybe now we're in a position, maybe, where we can move over here and put Harad under some real pressure. Because we don't want Harandor to be the ones doing that. We want to get this, and especially this territory, for ourselves. So maybe in the next episode we're going to make some big progress in that vein. So I hope you join me for that. Take care until then.